known as Blockheads, plus fallout from tragic fan deaths at an AC/DC concert because New Kids fans lack intense devotion. To outsiders, New Kids fans, or Blockheads as they're sometimes called, seem nothing short of maniacal in their devotion. But what do the Blockheads have to say for themselves? And what does a psychologist make of this obsession? You're about to find out.
What about Blockheads? Is that word?
I hate that. I hate that more than anything.
It doesn't bother me. That's just a term that they use for us crazed fans.
Crazed fans in numbers we haven't seen since the days of the Beatles. And if you don't believe me, you can check the stats. As you can see, Aerosmith, Poison, and George Michael are all pretty close in terms of fan club membership. But the New Kids, with 175,000 members, leave them all in the dust. Of course, the numbers aren't even half the story. These fans are unmatched in their devotion to their idols. Call it what you want, crazed obsession, or just out-of-control affection. The Blockheads will stop at nothing.
The word that we keep hearing about, New Kids fans, to begin with, right, is obsessed. Do you think, would you describe this as an obsession?
Yeah, well, especially for people who follow them like us, because, like, once you meet them once, you're like, oh, I can't wait, before you ever meet them. You're like, I can't wait to meet them. I can't wait to meet them. I got to meet them. I love them. I love them. You finally meet them, and you're like, oh, yeah, yeah. And then once you meet them once, you can't stop.
I guess you could call it a phase in a way. I don't think there's anything wrong with liking and being obsessed.
I would say that this is not an obsession in the psychiatric sense of that word, but it's a preoccupation. It's an excitement and a hobby.
I have like 400 pinups from magazines, and I'm sure I have thousands of dollars in merchandise.
This is Donnie's hair.
I keep all my New Kids on the Block cards in number order.
I got this, I don't know how I got so much, but I just put my hand through his hair and it just all came out. I mean, I'm gonna keep this probably forever and look back on it and say, well, I had his hair.
The possibilities are that it becomes an addiction. That an addiction implies that a pleasurable activity has gotten out of control.
We look over every hotel there is, and then we find them. A lot of girls are real jealous.
Yeah.
I mean, do they get violent or ever? Or?
Yeah, they get violent. They've been fights and stuff.
I would call this pseudo-sexual activity in early teenagers who are living out a fantasy of sexuality in a way that is really not sexual. It is really a kind of group competitive activity to get close to this handsome man without any real likelihood that anything is going to happen.
When they left for London, we followed them to the airport, and we went on the roof to see them.
We're up against the fence, Donnie, Jordy, and everyone's up against the fence, and there was barbed wire across the top.
We went on the runway where the plane was, and we almost got dragged off by a cop.
I ripped my shirt and I scratched my leg, all the way up my leg, and got cuts all over me. And I was on the runway. The cops were like, "Come here."
I guess there's not much you'd